Hello, strong people. Welcome back. It's been a little while since I made a full video. Last week was kind of a week off. I still came in here and tried to lift heavy stuff because that's just what I love to do after, a competition. There's always those few days after a show where you feel terrible, like a day or two, and then the third day, you're like, I feel better. Let's do a light workout. And then by for me, day 4 or 5, I'm like, I gotta go lift something heavy now. And that's what I did. I posted some videos about that, the big log press I hit. Really happy about that. Still can't really believe it, but what we're gonna do today, I'm still not on a dedicated training program yet, so we're just gonna wing it. My plan is to take you guys through the workout that I use to pretty much build my press up to 350 pounds. This was back when I hit my first 350-pound press. Since then I've had a coach and things have switched, but this workout that I'm going to show you today I literally did it for like 3 years straight. I didn't really waver from it. This is what I did, usually twice a week. So if you want a big press, I think this is probably a decent place to start out. I don't know for sure because I don't have like an exact, I don't have numbers or anything of what I would do. It was just kind of a go by feel type of thing. But I'll fill you guys in more as I go along. Now, this is the workout that I would do at college. No strongman equipment around really. And I wasn't really competing too much. I think I may have competed once or twice at this point, maybe. But typically started out with push press. I'm going to use an axle today just because, it's more strongman, I guess. I don't know. They're doing like a max axle press at America's Strongest Man this weekend, so I just want to do axle. So the workout is mainly push press. I'd work up to like 3 sets of 3, 3 sets of 5, somewhere in there. Maybe even 5 sets of 5 if it felt really good. And then I would strip off some weight, do strict presses, same rep scheme. 3x3, 5x5, 3x5, somewhere in there. And then I would go to close grip bench. You might be like, that's a lot of heavy pressing. And it was. I don't know, was that smart? I don't know. But I got my press pretty strong, I guess, so I did something right. One of my original strongman mentor, my buddy Tyler, he's the one who told me about this program. And it worked for him, and he's like, do this. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to do that. And then 3 years later, I hit a 350-pound push press on a barbell out of the rack, But I don't know. I have no idea what I'm going to do today. I haven't done a standard grip, regular bar press in months. Been using log only, so I have no idea what we're going to work up to, but let's find out. All right, so we're warming up here on the old axle press out of the rack, and it's feeling kind of how I expected it to, awkward, because I haven't trained like for a show on a straight bar since my competition in March. So going back to a straight bar after log is a weird feeling because for log, you don't need to be as mobile in the front rack position because the log sits so far up on your chest. But on an axle, it's better you need that front rack mobility because you want that bar to be touching, your collarbone or somewhere up in there. You want it to be touching your body as much as possible. And the reason for that is because it's just a better transfer of energy from your push press into the bar. If your arms if you're holding the bar here at your chin, you're still going to get some drive from your legs into the bar, but it's going to be absorbed by your arm first. You're just not going to be able to hold 400 pounds here and keep it there throughout the press. It's going to move somewhat. But if it's, on your collarbone, it's literally resting on a bone. The bar is not going to compress your collarbone down. So whenever you dip for that push press and then you drive through the bar, all that energy, or at least a good portion of it, is going into that bar, and then it should be propelling that bar at least above your head. You should be able to get that bar. Ideally, you want that bar to be as high off your body as possible when you do your push press. So, and right now, getting into that rack position is a little awkward feeling for me. Once the weight's up and once it's pressed, it's fine. It's just awkward. So I'm going to go up a little bit. Sometimes before my main working sets on this, I wouldn't always, but sometimes I'd go up to a top single or something just to feel the weight. I don't know if I'll do that today. We'll see how this one goes, but that was a little push press tip there on your front rack mobility. Hope you enjoyed that part. Well, slight change of plans to the pressing today. I was going to work up to a top single, and I did just that. I just pressed 405 pounds out of the rack on an axle. I had no intention of going for that today at all. I was at least planning to do, a heavy 3x3 or something at like 350, but the weights were moving good and it felt possible, so I went for it. I don't know what to say. It's a shallow victory, I will say, because it's out of a rack. Nothing counts out of a rack. But knowing that I can press it out of the rack just in general is good. But usually I'm worse out of a rack. I can't seem to get the same rack position. That transition from stomach to front rack position on the clean on an axle, it feels way better. It feels like I get my head back where it needs to be, and everything feels a little bit more locked and loaded. I always press out in front when I press out of a rack, and I noticed that warming up. So I tried to kind of overcompensate and press a little bit further back than I felt like I needed to. So hopefully I still pressed out in front a little bit, but I was able to push through. So I don't think I'm going to call the standing pressing there before I hurt myself or something. I'm going to go to probably some light bench. I don't need to go heavy on bench after doing that. I shouldn't. Plus, it's cold in here. It's got to be like 45 degrees in here. It's plenty cold. So short rest times in between all those as well, trying to just stay somewhat loose. And my toes are actually pretty numb right now, so I'm gonna get moving and get this bench done and then do some tricep accessories. But everything I said about my original pressing routine is true. I would, work up to a top single sometimes. Most of the time it would just be, 3x3, 3x5, 5x3, 5x5. One of those 4 combos. 4, 3x3, 5x3. Yeah, 4. It'd be one of those. And then I would just do that on the next 2 exercises as well. every now and then I throw out like a rep out set, try to hit 10 at a certain weight, or strict press 10 at a certain weight, or bench press 10 at a certain weight. But that was all I did. I did one of those rep schemes, and then I would just do that for push press, strict press, and bench. And then after that, you can kind of do whatever you want. Classic shoulder tricep accessories. It's nothing fancy. We don't do, strongmen or big time powerlifters. They don't really do much different things when it comes to accessories. They just target their weak points. There's a little tips and tricks here, specific ones, but for the most part, it's pretty basic. So that's what I did. I did those 3 for 3 years, and I got a 350-pound push press out of it. And now, with the help of a coach, I can press, 400 pounds on both a log and an axle, I guess. And that's pretty cool. All right, I'm getting cold. Let's do bench. All right, about to get bench started. I did some warm-ups just to make sure my chest is warm because I haven't done flat bench in a long time. Did floor press here and there, but that's less chest, kind of more tricep, of course. You see my breath? I don't know if it'll show on camera, but I can see it here. So it's getting a little chilly here as it gets later at night. We got 315 on the bar right now. We'll see how it feels. I'd like to do like 350 for some triples, maybe. Maybe we'll stick with 5. I don't know. It's hard to tell where I'm at on this because I haven't, done it in a long time. So let's find out. All right, we're going to call the video there. Not really bothering to show the rest of the workout because it's basic accessory stuff, triceps, shoulders. Nothing that you haven't seen me do already, I don't think, at least once or twice. Unless you're new here. If you are new here and you're joining from like some of the Nationals videos, welcome. I'm an amateur strongman and I train out here in a shed. Other than that, pretty normal stuff. But bench felt good, surprisingly. I really wasn't sure how to feel. I didn't try to get like a big powerlifting arch or anything. I tried to keep it fairly flat, just keep decent positioning. Honestly, I probably could have hit a bench PR today with the way that felt. But I don't really care to. If, we don't really bench a whole lot in strongman, and I've seen a few benches in competition. The Shaw Classic's kind of a bench, but I've seen an actual, bench press used in like a press medley, which is pretty cool. But I hardly ever see it, so I don't really feel the need to max out on it. But we'll see. Maybe later in the week. It's going to be a short week because I'm in a wedding. So Friday, Saturday, no training. And I don't want to do 4 days in a row this week. So, I don't know. I'll probably do some deadlifts tomorrow, just regular old deadlifts. Nothing crazy. I'm saying that now, hoping that I don't feel good. I want to feel good. I don't want to feel good enough that I'm like, I got to go 700 plus. Because that's stupid. I shouldn't do that. This is why I need like a structured program, because I like to lift heavy weights. But before I get frostbite, I'm not going to get frostbite, it ain't that cold, but I am getting chilly. So I'm going to go inside, get some dinner, get a shower, and then repeat this process tomorrow because, such is life. Work, eat, lift, sleep, repeat. And I'll see you guys in the next one.